Background courtesy of Photographs of a Mad Richard. Link in the description.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is another in my Battle with Beelzebub series, though there aren't a lot of flies in here. Also, what is absent from this place at the moment is the cats that normally live in here, because they made such a mess that it finally came down to either I stopped filming in here or they moved to another room. Which was problematic because as soon as I moved them to the other room, the other cats were like, "Oh, what's in there?" Because they're cats. And of course, I am standing amongst Wreckage and having a drink. I'm filming this on St. Patrick's Day, so it's a good day to have a drink, although this is a Valentine's Day drink. I don't know what that is, and I don't care. It's been a long day having my drink. This was at the bottom of my freezer. This mug was at the bottom of my freezer, and there's like berries and vegetables stuck to it, or at least there were when I pulled it out. So, haven't had alcohol in a while. Yep, there are the flies. They're bugging me. You know, what happened was, my house is very old and it hasn't been updated. And in this room I have 2-prong and 3-prong Edison wall outlets. So, you know, the camera is actually on a wall outlet now. It's not running off battery because the lights in here are on that wall outlet, and if that wall outlet is no longer functioning, I'd be in the dark. So no point on filming without the wall outlet working. But the cats, they knocked the plug out, and the plug is in this rather difficult to deal with place. So I was okay, no filming for today, just I'll do other stuff. And I was so depressed I really didn't get much done because I suffer from depression. It sucks, and no, I can't take medication for it, because if I take medication for it, I fall asleep at work. And you go, well, why don't you try a different medication? Because if I try a different medication, I could still fall asleep at work, and that would be a bad thing. So, no. So anyway, I was going about my business. I literally just came in here to feed the cats. And what should I find but they knocked over another major piece of filming equipment, and it was all over the place. And not only that, flies and cats are both rather curious. Not only that, but they just dump stuff. I mean, every time I try to get something organized in here, it's boosh on the floor, boosh on the floor, boosh on the floor. These cats just will not settle down. And part of that is because there are 3 of them in here. And part of that is just because, you know, this is a small room, and it's always been a very junk-laden room. There's stuff all over the place in here, but now it's like there was a table that I had to move out of the way. It was a collapsing table, so I had to collapse it. I've had it for 25 years. It's pretty much junk at this point. It doesn't function very well, and I have a replacement. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to remove it from this room and never use it again. But that's no big deal. It's in bad shape. But as I got under the table, I found that the cats kept knocking their food cans onto the floor, which is why, one reason I have flies, and they urinated on things. So, I mean, I had 3 litter boxes in here till yesterday. I took one out to clean it. But it's like, you know, they're getting angry at each other. There's only 3 of them. They're getting angry at each other. But they're in this because they don't get along with the other cats. So I came in here and I went, all right, I got to move that table, which means I got to move the cats. And I try to put them in the other room. And as soon as I start trying to put them in the other room, the cats that don't get along with them start trying to get in that room. Because they're cats. They want to know what's in there. And I don't know how well you can see this, but you see this on my arm here? This cut, these cuts. That's from a cat getting in here that's not supposed to be in here. I'm going to have to go get another one of my fans and try to dry things out in here a bit. Maybe that'll deal with the flies a little better. But, I mean, I'm just frustrated, and I'm talking about it to get through the frustration. I mean, you can't explain to the cats, if you're going to be in here, you have to be clean, because that's not how cats work. But, you know, I mean, look, I suffer from a dangerous level of depression, and I need to work a lot. I should be preparing for work right now. My shift got canceled, and I just didn't have the energy to call my work and get another one. There are more shifts out there. I could work other shifts. But, you know, I can't deal with it right now. So this is where I am at the moment. Now I've got to clean pretty much everything in this room. It's just falling apart in here. I'm tired. I'm angry. But I've got nothing for it but to get back to work. Anyway. Thanks for listening to me rant. I'm Richard. Hi everybody, I'm Danger Ducky, and this is the part of the video where I remind you to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm also giving time for there to be links to the next video and subscriptions. You should comment, like, and subscribe, because for every 1,000 subscribers, this channel will buy a bracelet from For Ocean, and that will pull a pound of trash out of the ocean. It's a big ocean, and there's a lot of trash there. We also buy medals from the Conqueror, and every one of those means that 5 trees are planted, so that we will have a cleaner world for you and me to live in. Danger Donkey says, be a good Samaritan, float like a butterfly, and comment, like, and subscribe!